headlines at this hour on VTV News. National Assembly discusses obstacles in science and technology activities. And later on, Vietnam aims to drive sustainable growth in e-commerce. In our world news, Europe and Ukraine to join peace talks.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyen Tan with the top stories. This morning or Monday morning, the National Assembly held a plenary session to discuss a draft resolution that aims to pilot new policies for addressing obstacles in science, technology, and innovation. More to follow.
National Assembly deputies proposed policies to streamline administrative procedures for scientific research funding.
Regarding financial mechanisms, I believe it is essential to further evaluate key issues, such as budget allocations for 2025 and medium-term public investment. Additionally, there is currently no mechanism for fund transfers. I propose establishing such a mechanism for certain science and technology projects. Otherwise, transferring funds will be challenging. Secondly, in terms of expenditure, I suggest that funds should be allocated directly to achieving final research outcomes.
National Assembly deputies also recommended adding provisions to facilitate the transfer of scientific and technological research results. Additionally, policies should be introduced to support training and attract high-quality talent.
We propose implementing policies that enable businesses and research centers to recruit overseas Vietnamese experts and international specialists to contribute to talent development in Vietnam. This can be achieved through measures such as visa support, tax exemptions, and other incentives to ensure stable and long-term participation in training and workforce development.
The draft resolution lacks clarity on policies and mechanisms for commercializing scientific research results. Commercialization not only helps supplement research funding, but also enhances the role of scientific research in society and the national economy. More importantly, it ensures better livelihoods for scientists.
And this afternoon, following their review of the presentation and verification report, the National Assembly will hold discussions among delegations regarding the organizational structure and number of government members for the 15th National Assembly term. Vietnam's exports started strong this year with 7 items, each exceeding $1 billion in turnover. Computers, electronic products, and components led with over $6 billion in export value. Following these were phones and components, machinery, equipment, tools and spare parts, textiles, footwear, wood and wood products, and transport vehicles and spare parts. In total, these 7 product groups generated $22.45 billion in exports, accounting for 72% of the country's total export value. Vietnam's e-commerce sector has surpassed $25 billion, accounting for approximately 9% of total retail sales and consumer service revenue in 2024. And despite ongoing challenges, platforms and businesses are undergoing significant transformations, focusing on qualitative growth and to enhance e-commerce contribution to overall economic expansion.
Automated lifting robots have increased warehouse processing speed 5-fold, while a fully automated bottling system streamlines detergent production. These innovations are key to meeting surging online demand at Tam's factory, which has adopted a direct-to-consumer model through digital platforms.
Consumers can see how products are made, while we minimize intermediary costs to deliver the most competitive prices.
E-commerce platforms are investing in seller training programs. Even niche products like locally grown bonsai trees, traditionally difficult to sell online, have seen a threefold increase in sales during the recent Lunar New Year season.
Long-term training programs will run for 3 to 6 months, ensuring Vietnamese businesses succeed on digital platforms.
Imported goods valued under $40 are no longer exempt from taxes, while the VAT reduction to 8% remains in effect. These policies are leveling the playing field between domestic and imported products, encouraging local production.
Resolution 25's target of 20 to 22% e-commerce growth and 60 to 65% business adoption is entirely achievable.
Developing a comprehensive e-commerce law and strengthening legal frameworks have become top priorities. These measures will ensure sustainable growth, creating greater opportunities for domestic production and businesses in the digital economy.
Vietnam will end a previous policy that exempted imported goods value under 1 million Vietnam dong or $39.4 from taxes when shipped via express delivery, according to the General Department of Customs. And this decision will take effect on February 18th. The declaration and payment of VAT on low-value imported goods will now follow the law on VAT and relevant legal regulations. The GDC explained that implementing this decision aligns Vietnam's tax policies with international practices, ensures consistencies within the current tax regulatory system, and supports the state's policy direction of expanding the tax base. The new decision is also expected to create fair competition between domestically produced and imported goods, thereby promoting local production. Vietnam's waters are home to more than 800 seaweed species, valued for both their ecological importance and economic value. And as global demand grows, seaweed farming offers promising opportunities. However, Vietnam's seafood exports in 2023 reached only $5,500, a tiny fraction of the global market, projected to hit $5.5 billion by 2028. Unlocking Vietnam's seaweed farming potential remains a key challenge.
After years of researching marine plants, scientist Nguyễn Hữu Đại views the seaweed market's rapid growth over the past decade as both promising and concerning. Since seaweed absorbs substances from its marine environment, strict quality control is essential to ensure safety and quality.
Farmers must strive to control all factors in seaweed cultivation, including fertilizers and treatments, keeping them within safe limits.
To boost seaweed farming and exports, experts emphasize the need for closed-loop supply chain from cultivation to processing and distribution. One company has partnered with 50 farming households across Ninh Thuận, Khánh Hòa, and Phie to cultivate 80 hectares of grape seaweed. The harvest season runs from March to October, with a daily yield of up to 6 tons. The key to absorbing this large output lies in processing technology.
Deep processing offers the greatest advantage by preventing the sale of raw materials as mere resources. 1 kilogram of raw seaweed can produce 10 kilograms of processed products.
Ninh Hải Ward, Ninh Hòa Town, Khánh Hòa Province is now considered the grape seaweed capital. Previously, the area was used for shrimp farming or salt production. Since switching to grape seaweed cultivation, farmers have enjoyed stable incomes.
This area benefits from clean water, with seawater channeled in and filtered through settling ponds, ensuring high-quality seaweed.
Whether for export or the domestic market, quality remains a top priority for seaweed products. Maintaining strict quality standards is also key to unlocking the industry's untapped market potential.
Now, following the Lunar New Year holiday, businesses have swiftly resumed their operations. As companies enter the new year with fresh plans and goals, many are seeking additional funding to achieve them. This report examines several such businesses in Hanoi.
This rolling aluminum door manufacturing company has been operating for nearly 20 years. Initially, its factory covered just 1,000 millisquares with 5 workers. After gaining access to business loans, its production area expanded to 8,000 millisquares, and the workforce grew tenfold. In 2024, Its revenue exceeded $7.8 million US. To further boost revenue, the company requires an estimated $1.9 million US for construction and equipment purchases.
Our target for 2025 is to increase revenue by 20 to 25% compared to last year. We hope the bank will support us in accessing capital to expand our facilities, reach new markets, and develop new product designs that align with current market trends.
As a manufacturer, trader, and exporter of agricultural products, this business requires substantial long-term capital. With bank financing, it has invested nearly $39,000 US in renovating its factory and purchasing equipment, including an electric drying system capable of processing 800 kilograms to 1 ton of fresh longan per day.
Our company plans to establish another factory in 2026 to expand into official agricultural exports, particularly focusing on products from Hưng. Given this expansion, the need for capital is substantial, and the company hopes to collaborate with the bank for mutual growth.
According to Agribank, corporate loan balances reached $17.6 billion US in 2024. To drive credit growth, Agribank aims to allocate over $7.8 billion US in preferential loans during 2025, supporting businesses through short-term financing and medium to long-term investment projects.
And before we move on to other important updates, let's take a look at the foreign exchange rates of today, February 17th. Coming up next on VTV News. Vietnam celebrates 46th anniversary of war to protect the northern border. And let's explore the vibrant spirit of MANG market. Now moving on to other news. Today, February 17th, marks the 46th anniversary of Vietnam's battle to protect its northern border in 1979. On this day, 46 years ago, the country's entire northern border, stretching more than 1,000 kilometers from Quảng Ninh to Lai Châu, faced an all-out attack from across the border. The army and people, particularly those in the 6 border provinces, steadfastly held their ground. They fought bravely against a vastly larger force to protect the country's borders. These achievements demonstrate the Vietnamese people's unwavering determination to overcome challenges and protect their nation's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. The Mekong Delta region is experiencing peak salinity intrusion, which is expected to persist until April and affect 9 out of 13 provinces. In response, the entire region has joined hands to implement both short-term and long-term solutions, including large-scale irrigation projects to block saltwater, store fresh water, and protect agricultural production.
This irrigation system is the second largest of its kind in the region. It helps prevent salinity and is located 400 meters from the river. When saltwater intrusion occurs, the system closes to protect farmland and supplies fresh water to local provinces.
This project will form a closed system, preventing salinity and securing fresh water for 130,000 hectares of farmland, especially high-value fruit orchards.
In previous years, farmers were forced to harvest their winter-spring rice early to avoid salinity. Thanks to the new irrigation system, they can now grow rice later into the season.
Without this sluice, the canal water would be salty and undrinkable. Now, we're no longer worried about saltwater intrusion.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is fast-tracking 2 large-scale water management projects.
We monitor progress weekly, adjust timelines flexibly, and work in shifts around the clock to meet deadlines, as instructed by the Prime Minister.
as salt water intrudes deeper into the Mekong Delta during dry seasons. Completing these projects early will help localities respond effectively to extreme weather and safeguard their water resources for the future.
Many provinces and cities in the northern region will experience drizzle and fog at the night and in the morning, particularly affecting traffic in mountainous areas. And as cold air weakens to the east, southeast winds are carrying moisture from the sea, resulting in light rain and drizzle across many provinces on Monday morning. Mountainous areas such as Sinho in Lai Châu province and Mộc Châu in Sơn La province will continue experiencing thick fog, reducing visibility to below 500 meters. The fog, light rain, and drizzle are forecast to last until Friday in most northern localities, occurring mainly between 3 and 8 a.m. These conditions will reduce visibility to 1 to 4 kilometers in most areas and below 500 meters in some high mountainous regions. And drivers are advised to use anti-fog headlights, drive slowly, and maintain careful observation when traveling on mountain passes. This special market offers a glimpse into the rich cultural heritage of ethnic groups in Kamplong District, Kon Tum Province. Known as MANG Market, it operates from Friday afternoon to Sunday, attracting crowds of tourists eager to explore, shop, and indulge in local delicacies.
Visitors to Mang Den Market can immerse themselves in an authentic cultural experience, whether by preparing local dishes or stepping into the shoes of farmers selling homegrown produce. For first-time visitors, these hands-on activities create unforgettable memories.
This market offers something truly unique that other markets don't. Here, you'll find fresh cassava, ginseng, corn milk, and vegetables harvested just moments ago. Even forest nuts are freshly roasted and sold on the spot. It's a truly special experience.
The number of visitors keeps growing as the market becomes a major attraction.
Established in late 2023, the market was created to enhance tourism offerings while promoting and showcasing the region's unique products.
I feel happy and proud of our rich and vibrant culture. We are always ready to welcome visitors during New Year.
With dozens of stalls set up in traditional rong houses, granaries, and stilt houses, the market vividly reflects the Highland way of life. Each booth is a cultural capsule, capturing the unique spirit of the Central Highlands.
The fire jumping festival of the Dao ethnic group has just been held in Nậm Det Commune, Lao Cai province. This special activity, part of the Bắc Hào White Plateau Festival, attracted many tourists to the area. The festival's highlight is the remarkable bravery of young Dao men, with more than a dozen of them crossing fire with bare feet. And since Lunar New Year, young men aged 12 and above have undergone a careful preparation, keeping their bodies and clothes clean while learning traditional rituals, gnome characters, and proper movements for fire jumping. For the Red Dao people, this fire dancing festival serves as both a platform to express their New Year wishes and a celebration of their men's strength and courage. Nestled in Sơn La province, Mộc Châu Plateau is a paradise for nature lovers and those seeking the breathtaking flower seasons of the northern region of Vietnam. And among its seasonal highlights is the mesmerizing plum blossom season in January and February, when the landscape transforms into a stunning spectacle of pure white. And this year's plum blossom season has energized both individual travelers and the tourism market. Travel companies have responded by launching short-term tour packages for visitors eager to explore and photograph the scenery. And according to the Mộc Châu Town People's Committee, the plateau welcomed 105,000 visitors during the Lunar New Year holiday from January 25th to February 2nd, generating over 136 billion Vietnam dong, or $5.4 million in revenue. Currently, Mộc Châu attracts an average of 15,000 to 20,000 visitors daily, putting significant pressure on local services. Coming up next in our world news, Europe and Ukraine to join peace talks. And Hamas indicates potential shift in Gaza governance. Now moving on to our world news, Europe and Ukraine will take part in US-led negotiations aimed at ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And this announcement was made by US President Donald Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, following remarks by the US Special Envoy for Ukraine at the Munich Security Conference, suggesting that Europe might be excluded from the talks.
Speaking to the press, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky would be included in discussions to resolve the conflict. Earlier, Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that while formal negotiations had yet to begin, Europe and Ukraine would be invited to participate if talks progressed.
If at any point in time there's an opportunity to continue the work that President Trump started last week to begin to create an opening for a broader conversation that it would involve Ukraine and would involve the end of the war and would involve our allies all over the world, particularly in Europe, we're going to explore it if that opportunity presents itself.
The statement helps ease concerns in Europe, where fears had been growing that the region would be sidelined in discussions about Ukraine's future. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot also confirmed that French President Emmanuel Macron would host a meeting with European leaders to discuss the Ukraine conflict and European security.
Hamas has signaled it may step aside from administrative and political control of Gaza. Hamas spokesperson Hazem Qasim said the group shows significant flexibility on this matter during meetings with Egyptian officials. The group also reaffirmed its commitment to the ceasefire agreement while urging mediators to pressure Israel to end alleged violations of the deal. The UK government has unveiled a multi-billion-pound plan to safeguard its domestic steel industry. Up to $3.2 billion will be allocated to support the sector, alongside a broad consultation on protecting it from unfair foreign trade practices and mitigating high electricity costs. The announcement comes just days after U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed a 25% tariff on imported steel and aluminum, set to take effect on March 12. On February 15th, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for greater investment and concessional financing to help developing countries achieve their Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Speaking on the sidelines of the African Union Summit, Guterres stressed the need for better access to affordable capital and urged multilateral development banks to play a greater role in attracting private investment. Now, as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. That's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app, VTVgo, or check out our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.